President Trump has paused the planned 50% tariffs on Canadian goods for 3 days, just hours before they were due to take effect. Trump says the pause follows a deal with Canada, subject to finalizing the documents.
Well, the tariffs would have applied to around $20 billion of Canadian imports, including goods that otherwise qualify for preferential treatment under the USMCA trade agreement. The announcement follows weeks of negotiations between Washington and Ottawa, with Trump and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney speaking once again on Tuesday this week. The United States says the emerging agreement will cover broader market access for American goods, economic security commitments, and digital trade alignment. Washington has also cited Canadian dairy duties, restrictions on American alcohol, and auto trade as key concerns.
Canada, however, says substantial progress has been made, but important work remains. The auto sector remains one of the biggest sticking points. The two sides have discussed reducing U.S. tariffs on Canadian vehicles from 25% to 15%, with further reductions linked to the amount of U.S. content in each vehicle. Canadian industries, including lumber, wine, and dairy, had faced the risk of job losses and business closures if the new tariffs took effect. The 3-day pause now gives both sides more time to finalize an agreement, while Trump has also raised the possibility of reviving the Keystone XL pipeline.
And our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report from New York with more details. Take a look.
President Trump has hit pause on a major tariff hike against Canada, but only for 3 days. The 50% tariff covering roughly $20 billion in Canadian goods were set to take effect on Wednesday. Washington and Ottawa now have a narrow window to lock down the details and resolve the remaining sticking points. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says that progress has been made, while Trump has also raised the possibility of reviving the Keystone XL pipeline. For now, a trade showdown has been avoided, but if the agreement isn't finalized, those 50% tariffs could quickly be back on the table. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.